What's up, guys? Update 1.9. So the car is almost, getting ready to run and drive. There are a few, setbacks, but let's get right into it. Alright guys, yeah, so the car is finally getting together. I finally got the wire harness installed. And yeah guys, you can see I live inside the freeway, so it kind of sucks. So you guys can hear me right. But yeah, so you see here, wire harness is pretty much, in correctly. And yeah, you guys can take a look at it. This right here for alternator. Make sure you guys use 4 gauge wire, or 8 to 4 gauge. Do not use 10 gauge. I messed up by using 10 gauge right here and kind of effed up on this. So make sure you use a higher gauge wire than 10. Obviously my fuse, make sure you keep your things fused. So I got a 250 amp fuse. That's kind of overkill. I would go to 250 amps if I run like a car audio stuff, but that's too much. And this is for my fans. It's a 40 amp relay. Fuse goes to here. This is the positive, power block. See here, positive power cable goes here. Alternator cable, starter cable, legit right here. And it's also I embedded the wire harness powers into the starter cable, so it's all together in one wire. Now obviously this side is for your car accessories, lights and all that stuff. And then there is something else I forgot. Fans. So yeah, so this connects to fans power. Also from Painless Performance with fans relay kit. So it goes on here. And these are the power wires for the fans. So you see here, goes on there and it connects to over here. This is also pretty cool. But basically this is what turns on or gives power to the fans. So yeah. And also this black cable is for the ignition switch starter. So once you crank it up, this power will send 12 volts signal to the starter right there. And let's get back to fans. So the fans goes here, and I pretty much embedded it into the wiring harness. So you guys see here, I'm talking about as the computer. Oh shit, it's fucking hot in here. But basically, so this is from my old car. And then yeah, so everything is like pretty much bunched up together. I'm trying to figure out I'm probably gonna make a plastic platform to mount the relays. And basically this will be behind a plastic shield, or I'll call it a plastic footwell. Originally this car has like a plastic footwell. You can see here, a little stud right there, and one over here. But basically it will be covered in plastic, and then you put in a carpeting. But basically yeah, so this right here is a fan relay from Painless Performance. It's pretty easy. I had to, if you run a 2 signal wire setup, you have to cut the green and blue wire and connect that to your PCM. Do not use the temp switch wires. Those are for if you want like an external switch, like a manual switch that you can plug into the heads, which on the heads, the ECT temp sensor. And I see people trying to like splice it and do crazy stuff, but that's kind of dumb because really this is for a computer only. So I'd rather just leave this alone. And you can go on the other side right here, ba-boom. So this thread is actually a block plug, and you can literally put in like your own temperature sensor gauge right here. So you don't have to splice it into the ECT temperature sensor for the PCM. That's really nice right there. Pretty much I fixed a leak, but I am gonna try to get it's on Amazon. It's by it's basically, it combines the oil pressure and the coolant pressure together, all in one gauge. So I'll have that in one of the air vents that I'm not using for the dashboard. Here's a picture of it, I'm talking about, and that will make it super convenient. And see, that's my oil pressure gauge for now, and I'm getting solid 40 psi, which is what you want to see on an LS1 car or LS car. But yeah, so that's pretty much wiring. I got the computer. This is my fan relay. This is obviously the fuse box for the computer. Everything's working pretty good. I'm gonna start it for a little bit, but for now, I'm gonna show you guys around. And basically, yeah. Okay. So this is my sloppy shifter. Okay, so you will need a shifter extension. So basically, this will be back like over here in this area, and you also need the GTO coupler. So you basically need to remove this, put in a coupler, replace the coupler, and then you put in the extension. Because if I put this, if I leave it like this, it will hit the cigarette ashtray, and I don't want that. I want to try to keep it like original as possible. So this will be set back. Then we'll try to, you know, fit through the hole of the window regulator and stuff. And yeah, obviously this is my clutch, brake pedal, and gas pedal. I am gonna try to bend the gas pedal to the right a bit so it can, you know, be straight. And actually I did try to start it, like the wheels are actually were driving. You see here, I don't know if you can see it or not, which I'll show you the rest of it. And it's so fucking hot in here. But yeah, so I have a drive shaft installed, and this car was really pushing wheels. It was pretty much, you know, turning wheels. So that's pretty good. However, there was one setback, and that is the brake calipers are leaking. Well, one of them is. And I also need to bleed the brakes, because I got in a new brake cylinder, so I need to bleed a brake before I even like think about, you know, driving it. And that's pretty much a big setback right there. Now this is for drive shaft. I'm gonna go get in there for a second. That's the emergency brakes, which I'll get in that right about now. So this is a drive shaft. I have it installed for a bit, and it was spinning tires, which is freaking awesome. The shifter felt great. But this is what I have to do to make the drive shaft fit. I did a lot of cutting. You see here, I'll probably have to cut this part. This is the center bearing or carrier housing or bracket. So I basically cut this because it's like very close to hitting that, and I don't want that at all. And also, this is my my trans mount. It's basically, you see here in the holes. So there's 3 holes. The middle one is for the middle mounting bolt on the stock polyurethane, or I don't know what you call it, but trans mount. However, I need like a lot of lift on it, so I use this, screw this on with 1 bolt at 15 inches, and I'm pretty much drilled holes or mounting holes for these 2. And you can see here, mounting holes. So that's my transmission cross member or mounting ring. Alright, so to get the drive shaft to fit, the single drive shaft, I had to cut up or remove the emergency brakes, and that's just over here. It's still connected. However, I do want to keep the stock brakes, so what I'm going to have to do is pretty much cut this in half, like that, like this. And then I'll have to make up my own mounting bracket. So it'll basically be like right here, like a big plate of steel. It'll hold this part and this one. Well, here's like a diagram, a diagram of the emergency brakes, but pretty much I'll have to mount it right here, like an external mount, and then my drive shaft will fit over here. So hopefully the drive shaft won't hit the emergency brakes. And also, the tubing of the drive shaft is 2.5-inch steel, and it barely fits. Like, it's probably like a finger left up here. I'll probably need to lower the car and see if it fits or not, but yeah, it's like it barely fits over here. So 2.5-inch steel, or any tubing that's 2.5-inch will fit. Anything above that may not. And there are some angle problems. Like, see, this angle is around like 3.7 to 4. For drive shaft angle is about 3. So I'm being like 1 degree operation angle, which is great for this side. However, on the front side, that's where the big issue is coming along. Is the front side is actually around 8 to 7, and that's pretty bad considering the drive shaft angle is like 3. So that's like 4 operation angle. Joints, and you want to keep it under 3, and also the you know, the pinion angle, the diff angle, and the transmission angle are not even parallel. So the way to remedy this is like a last resort, and that is the a CV drive shaft. And here's what it looks like. Alright, so this is the drive shaft. And you can see that's the adapter plate for the 3-prong into drive shaft to a U-joint. You see here. So that part is fine. However, this part is where I'm giving like high degree angle, and that's why there's like some vibrations when I was testing it. It's like very minimal. But this part will be converted to a CV joint, and that will allow it to like compensate for like high angle and that things are not parallel. So a CV joint drive shaft is pretty much a must. And also hood modifications. You can see here, it's like barely fits, so I had to make a custom hood for it. Make it look less dumb. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get this car pretty much started. Also, power steering is pretty good. There's no leaks, and make sure the right side of the box, when you look at it from up top, is high pressure. You can see here, that's the stainless steel line. Then the left side is actually low pressure. That's the nylon line. For now, I'm not getting any leaks, but I will keep it posted because the tires are not under load. But I'll keep it posted on my power steering lines, and hopefully they will not leak under load. This right here is a heater hose bypass. So basically, this is a plan here. So this is in, or out. To go through here, up here, here, and try to figure out. We're gonna get some aluminum fittings and some 90-degree angle fittings. Go up here into the heater core down here, and then this will come out right here, and this will go to this it's called a servo. The heater control servo basically tells basically a relay or a computer tells this to open up, and that will allow heat to go inside the car. If not, it'll just close this valve. But basically, go to here, this part right here go back to the in on the heater hose. That's the the heating hose diagram of this heater servo. I am rebuilding the heater box, you can see here, and please do not put your mouth on these. Just get a vacuum pump and just plug it in right here, and it should hold around like 5 psi. So the vacuum pumps should hold 5 psi for a long time, and if they don't, you most likely have like a little leak or like a rupture onto the vacuum pod. You can see here, I just took the whole thing apart. Basically, you have a plastic part, you have the spring in here, and this is a very, very important part, and this is a rubber part right here. So this part didn't hold 5 psi. It will keep leaking out, and you can see the hole right here. See it right there? And this part goes to right here. This controls the upper, the top 3 part of the heater control, or vents, we call it. And also this broke, so I'm going to put like a RCV as a sealant, then sheet metal and rivets. Also, another reason why my sensor, heat control didn't work is because this part right here broke off the clip. So what's nice about these, these cars have to be like made for right side and driver's side for European, but I can easily just turn this over like this when I have other side. So that's pretty neat right there. And also, I am gonna seal this tire box with new silicon, RTV, black silicon, Permatex. Now all these some new foam. You can see here, this foam literally can disintegrate. I have to touch it, so really need some new foam. And that's pretty much the heater box rebuild. So basically, check with vacuum pods for suction, hold for 5 psi. If it does, good. If not, have to take it apart, fix it. Then next up is put new foam around this is the evaporator coil, or I think evaporator coil, and then this is the heater box, or the heater core as they say. New foam on that, and then they put new RTV silicone around the gaskets, and that's the heater box rebuild, pretty much. Alright guys, so I got battery in, key on, out because my neighbors are out and about, so better give them some respect. But basically, yeah. Some other issues. The alternator is working fine. You know, when you start a car, you always want to check a battery on voltage, and usually a battery is like 12.6. That's like a full charge battery. However, if you put on an alternator on and check battery level, it's like around 13.8 to 14. That means the alternator is working and charging the battery, and also powering up your other accessories. Basically, yeah, so alternator is working fine. I still need to finish making the upper mount over here, because once the fans are kicking in, it will start to shake. So I better get some mounts over here. And I'm probably going to put some rubber bushings or rubber stuff on the lower mount. And also an issue on the engine side is it probably has a leaking head gasket on the coolant side, because when I put coolant in, it will just be gone. It will be like half full, so that probably means the coolant is actually leaking inside the combustion chamber, and obviously losing coolant and burning up the coolant inside the engine. But it's fine. Fans are turning on really nice. You can see here the belts, clearances, pretty good. And yeah, so I've been taking a little break, you know, working out and stuff. But yeah, it's a journey, and it's almost done. So if you guys enjoyed the video, we'll update the video, and I see you guys in the next one. Hopefully the next video will be me running and driving. So yeah, see you guys next time.